Hello, babies! Last album review of the week. I assume it is still this week. Might be a future week. Who gives a shit? I'm Azzy.
I'm Mouse.
I'm Ian.
And Ian's joining us because this week we are reviewing our favorite new wave video slut, Male Tears, with their self-titled album, Male Tears, released February 14th. So, oh fuck, that's Valentine's Day, ew.
Yeah.
2021. We're a little late to the party, but it's something we've been meaning to get around to, not all year, but at least for several months now, and we could not do this without Ian.
Why
So
not?
Ian, tell us about Male
Because Ian,
Tears.
you are an 80s expert.
All right, so as a lovely, huge fan of the 80s, specifically the post-punk of the 80s and new wave, Male Tears. This is James Edwards' project, and according to Bandcamp, this started late 2019. I am late to the party with this band, and I don't know why, but they are LA-based. They take Goth's love with new wave and kind of put it all into a blender. And recently, according to Bandcamp, Frank Shark joined the project.
Oh, okay. All right, James and Frank. So this album, Male Tears, we said it did come out in February. It's like, I don't know how many tracks it is.
10.
10 tracks. So it is amazing new wave from top to bottom.
Yes, and it's not like the new wave we've been hearing where it's very modernized and repackaged. This sounds like it was made in the 80s. It still has that, like, I don't know if this was by design or based on the instruments they use. I have no idea. Maybe we should even find out. But it has that dirty, like, 80s feel.
It almost feels like you can hear like the
cocaine
physicality of the microphone, like almost like as if like a karaoke set. Like you can like imagine the room almost.
Yeah.
And it is 1982 in LA.
LA, 1982, like you said, a mountain of cocaine on one end of the studio.
Well, we're not promoting drugs here. It's a mountain.
No, we're not, but we're just saying this is probably what happened.
Stereotype of the 80s.
Right. There might be like some passed out strippers in the corner, male or female, or, non-determined.
You mean and or
both. I mean, like maybe some bottles of champagne pop somewhere in the corner.
But the flashy, shiny new wave, though.
Yes, very glittery. It's very LA new wave. Like, the way I viewed this when I listened to it, I'm like, for me, it was if Animotion and like Howard Jones and maybe Pete Burns and early Depeche Mode had a baby that was mashed up in a blender, and that baby sprung out and was just like, I'm ready to play synth.
That's amazing.
That's a great description of the sound. The lyrics, though, I feel like verge between like kind of campy and really dark.
Yeah, it's like pop. Like there's like a pop new wave backbone to it, but as you listen through the album, there are parts of it that are notably dark wave in the vocals.
Yeah.
So I love that, and he's got some other tracks that are coming out. That came out like a month ago that are also dark wave on top of the new wave.
3 other singles?
3 new singles that came out after this album. That was Embrace Death, Hit Me, and the last one just hit last week, which is Model Citizen. And that one is super dark, synthy dance, more so than I think anything I've heard on this album or the last 2 singles. Like the newer track is very dark. Very dark.
I think the Hit Me track, which came out in September, that's my favorite.
That's
really good.
That's very dancey, very poppy. And what's great about it is like the videos they do to match up to the videos look like they're made in 1982. And they're silly and irreverent and fun. And he definitely embraces his Robert Smith side in his appearance.
Awesome.
Some of the videos look like they're like one of those online dating, 80s online dating. Like, hi, my name's Jim, and I like drinking bourbon. But he uses a lot of glitch in his videos, a lot of like VHS effects. I think
you tour with VHS sex.
Ooh.
Is that wrong?
VR sex.
VR sex. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, my notes on this from the album, the song Creep Distance specifically has
Oh my god, I love that song.
and it's almost like a reworking of Don't Stand So Close to Me by the Police. But the video, I said that it's like a bad online dating app from the 80s with lots of LA skyline at night. So it's like he's got like roses and it's like you could tell he's like putting on the charm really thick and heavy, but it's really cheesy at the same time. It's like
cheesy, but it's so emotional.
Oh yes,
So emotional.
The emotion in the vocals makes it stand apart because it's almost like saddened vocals and a little bit like it's got that new romantic feel to it. I was going to talk about the album.
I feel like it's hard to talk about any one track in depth because there's so many different things going on in all of these different tracks. Like it commands your attention from beginning to end. I did not expect to like this album as much as I do. I love it so much.
I wanted to call out the track Good in the Dark.
mm-hmm.
That is the first slowed down track, and it was just like Laura Branigan, Self-Control for me. It had everything going on. It had this smooth, high-pitched vocal, almost like Madonna, almost like Laura Branigan, and I absolutely loved it.
I'm gonna go with Future X as one of my favorites off the album. That one gave me 100% Dead or Alive, Pete Burns vibes all the way. I enjoyed it very, very much. The video for it had a very like D-Light, Groove is in the Heart feel to it, the way they shot it. You could just tell like this is like a love affair homage to the 80s, and he's just like taking it all, like I said, just like making it his own, or making it their own at this point, because now there's Frank Sharp joining the project.
Yeah, and it is very 80s inspired. I really want to know if She Lives in the Pipes is inspired by Eraserhead.
Ooh.
That is a weird song title. Well, because there is a girl that comes out of the radiator.
Yeah, and you know, who sings
I really liked the track Adult Film. I thought that just the smutsiness of it kind of reminded me of like Mark Almond, Sex Dwarf, Duran Duran as well. Just kind of like a carefree sluttiness of the 80s.
I was actually going to mention Adult Film as well. I thought that was a really stellar standout track. Captures like that girls on film Duran Duran vibe, like you said. A lot of fun.
Ian, you know what we should do?
What?
We should track down James and we should ask him if he can do a track by track fucking breakdown for us, because I want to know where all of this shit comes from.
I want to interview him very badly for not only the zine, but I would love to interview him for Obscura Undead.
Yeah,
just like
so, James, we know you're watching.
Call us.
in your court.
1-900. Let's put like a 900 number on the box.
Oh my god, right? Call now. Operator standing by.
Now, James.
I know he watches, because the Boot Blacks interview that we just did, Cadaver Kelly and myself, he immediately commented on it.
Ooh, yeah, great plug for that
That means he
interview.
has
It just
notifications
went out.
on.
It's really good. It's very weird. I like weird. All right, so before we get off on another tangent, obviously we love this album. You should too if you're into any kind of 80s. Go listen to it. And then the album is Name Your Price. It's also on Spotify, so you have no excuse not to listen to it. Come back, tell us what you think.
Yeah, and I do want to mention they just got signed with Starfield Music,
Ooh.
which is a label I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, that's not a label I know. Who's that?
I think they're based out of Canada,
Oh, interesting.
and their logo looks like an Atari logo almost. So definitely they're trying to go with the whole 80s, 1982 vibe. So that's the only year that mattered.
Yeah. I mean, for all of the like hauntology, 80s retro obsession, this album was a breath of fresh air.
Ooh, a brush of fresh air.
In all of this. But my lyric takeaway for this album is don't stand so close to me, or anybody, or anyone, whatever. It says anyone in the lyrics. Don't stand so close to me. Why do I even try? Can't fake my energy. Why do I even try? Sounds like my last 8 months.
Wow. The other track I liked on here, yeah, I feel that. The other track I did enjoy was Let's Pretend. And I liked it for reasons that may not make sense because it gave me a feel. It reminded me, even though it had nothing to do with it, but the rhythm beats to it made me think of Baltimore's Tarzan Boy.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah,
it's a fun, it's just good. The beats to it are just fun. It makes you want to tap your toes and move around. And I like that for some reason. I don't know why. It wasn't a standout stellar track, but I had a lot of fun with that one. I think that was probably the one I had the most fun with. Because then it just made me think of Tarzan Boy, which is just such a goofy song. So that's all I got.
And what was your favorite track on the album?
Oh, for me, it was Future X overall. That was my, I'd spin that as, I'd request it from a DJ. I'd play it myself. I'm spinning later tonight. I might play 2 of their songs in my set. I have 2 hours to kill, so.
I would request Hit Me. That's my favorite.
Well, I'm going to do Hit Me
because
because I
repeat, so.
Yeah. I was going to do Hit Me, and I was going to do the new Model Citizen as well, because I really like that one. If you've taken a moment to that one's really dark. The vocals are heavier. I don't even know if that's James singing because it's so different from everything else. That could be Frank Sharp. Frank, if that's you, let us know. It's dark. It's darker than everything they've done before.
Cool. We're here for it.
Yeah. All right, babies. We have kept you long enough. Mouse has something beautiful to say to you.
All right. Just want to say, make sure that you make time for yourself. It's much easier than you think it would be. When you're looking at your schedule for the day, just add 5 to 10 minutes to everything that you're doing. Try to show up 5 minutes earlier, and you will see that you have more time and less stress in your life. So also remember to take the time to relax.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week or whenever.
Bye. Thank you, Ian, for joining us. Bye.
Yeah, and thanks, Ian, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Bye.